Hi friends, this is Anthony Cerny here speaking to you from Miami Beach. I'm on 71st Street, close to Collins Avenue. I get to enjoy the beach here as often as I can. I enjoy a 15-mile run, running from 71st all the way down the 1st and back, just about every day. And today I didn't run it, I just didn't feel like running it. And generally I do run every day and I enjoy that very much. And I noticed that my window for running and enjoyment of the day is typically 2 or 3 in the morning. I get to avoid a lot of this traffic noise, pollution, constant vibrations and smells, and just constant. So by running late in the morning, let's say 2 or 3 in the morning, and getting back here around 6, I get to avoid all that, enjoy the nice, clear and cleaner air, less vibrations, less noise, less people in the around me. And I notice by doing that, I feel more at peace, more calm. I get a lot more out of it. You'll notice throughout this video, I'm video recording about 15 minutes, and you'll listen to the amount of noise generated consistently as I speak on this. And I'm just doing this not to degrade or speak negatively about this area, but just to be aware and observant of this. And one of the things that I'm stressing with this video is to not be afraid of being observant, aware, and representing those awarenesses and observations. I notice when I speak and when I present or project what my observations are, my awareness, I notice it's usually met with offense and attacks. And lately I've reflected on a lot of my posts against religion, namely Christianity. I don't like to beat around the bush. I mean, I've knocked on Buddhism, Krishna devotees, Muslims, Hindu, you name it. And the ones that I get most attacks from, bullying from, or from the Christian groups. I mean, this is what the religion is based on. It's based on violence, period. You don't need it. I get confronted all the time about, why are you picking on us all the time? Well, if the atheists were really well known for mass genocide, I'd be picking on the atheists. If the atheists were known for protesting against women's rights, I'd be picking on the atheists. If they were attacking Planned Parenthood, meaning the Planned Parenthood, I mean, the title itself tells you. I've gone to them, and I've had friends go to them as well, and they offer education, they offer birth control, they offer alternatives to birth control regarding education on the cycle, the fertility cycle, and so forth. These are very important things. It's very important for a woman and a man to understand ourselves, the science of ourselves, the body of ourselves. Christianity has no place in peace at all. I mean, the mass genocide of Native Americans is evidence of it. The attack against women and children throughout history, the pedophilia. I mean, if the atheists or the other groups were very well known for pedophilia, then I'd be talking about them very often, but I don't see that very often. Being a vegan and being an atheist seem to go hand in hand. I've noticed, as far as being an atheist, to follow the path of trying to be more truthful, trying to live a little more enlightened and aware and conscious, even with yoga and yogis and so forth, I learned that I cannot be connected if I'm constantly disconnecting myself from the reality of the truth. And the reality of the truth is that I don't need to consume animal flesh or the bodily excretions anymore. Nor do I need to subscribe to a fear. A fear is just another word for religion. Religion, another word for fear. And hatred. And bigotry. And homophobia. And sexism. And all these other things that are very terrible. So when I put these videos together and I put my posts, I don't do that to hurt a person. I do that to destroy and ridicule belief systems. Because they hurt people. They hurt animals. They hurt the planet. I mean, the whole idea of Christianity is based on suffering and torture. I mean, I was raised a Catholic. Catholicism is from what I've understood, the historical documentation, not to be biased from the Catholic side, but as far as the first evidence of Christianity, that was Catholicism. And from Catholicism, then you have the upspringings of Protestants and many others, the Mormonisms and all that other stuff. It doesn't matter. It's all based on the same thing, human sacrifice. You sacrifice the most vulnerable, weak, defenseless, innocent. That's the whole basis of it. That's what war is. War, there is no such thing as war. It's human sacrifice as well as animal sacrifices. I don't like to distinguish between animals and humans because we're the same. We may have a different language, we may look a little different, we behave a little different, but we still feel. We run from fear, from death and suffering. We run towards nourishment. The sun, life, water, all these things attract life. And then I see things that detract, remove from life, destruct, and that's religion. Christianity name it. I mean, if Christianity right now, the biggest, at least the current news, because Christianity likes to distract from what, things that really matter. One time it was gay marriage, but now it's abortion, I guess. They're anti-abortion or anti-Planned Parenthood, but in all reality, if they're really against anti-abortion or whatever, they're against abortion, then you would see a huge surge of Christian support for gay marriage, and Christian support for, for gay pride in general. I mean, there shouldn't be that many gays, anyone who practices gay sex, getting abortions. I mean, this just doesn't make sense. And if being natural is the whole purpose of being Christian, then you'd see every Christian as a raw vegan. That's as natural as they can get. No cooking your food and so forth. But that's not the case. Christianity is about oppression, enslavement, violence, period. That's why I speak about it. I've looked into Jainisms and I've looked into different methods because I wanted to see if there's a religion, a faith that prescribes towards not the sacred, sanctity of life and all these things. I don't care for that. But just ideas, cherishing, loving earth, nature, and all these. Yeah, I hear about the Wicca and the pagan and this and that. And then I finally realized that I don't need a religion. I don't need to believe in God, especially the way people believe in God. It's the most absurd method and excuse to justify harming others. I mean, what blows my mind is that the majority of people in prison right now, 74% I believe it is, are Christians, if not more. Less than 1% are atheists. Does it mean that atheists are good and they don't get caught or some other aspect? No, not at all. It just means that the majority of offenders are Christian, period. People that were in insane asylums, oftentimes, when they did exist as much as they did, they were Christian as well. The most violent people that ever existed on this planet are Christian. Doesn't mean that that they're Christian, there's no hope for them. It means that, just like myself, I was brainwashed as a child. If Christianity had a place, then you wouldn't even bring up the subject until the child or a person becomes of age, 18 years old or above. Then give them the option of choosing, here is this religion, here's this faith, here's this idea. Consider it. That's fine. Consider it towards observation, science, methods, and so forth. So to go about on how I think, I know that when I was suffering and I was, and I needed to hold on to something. I mean, I was addicted. I was an alcoholic and stupid person, addicted to violence as well. And I could tell you that at one point I used Christianity for myself as a crutch. It was wonderful to help me get to the next level, and I felt so. I felt I could hold on to something that was always constant. But what I was holding on to that was always constant was fear. That's it. Fear will always be constant if you allow it to be fear, to exist. And when I let it go, I mean, think about it. Christianity brought about the devil, period. There was no concept of devil before Christianity. That's crazy. The idea of devil and hell and damnation, that's all Christian beliefs. Vampires, yeah, there was an author, but, if you remember, Dracula was afraid of the cross. The evil we see in Hollywood against witchcraft and all that stuff. The omen, possession, demonic possession, that's all Christian based. That's craziness that people still believe in such nonsense. There's no reason for it. And all these demons and evil things, and sorcery, or whatever you call, it's always directed towards animals, always directed to the most innocent, the most vulnerable. So you got to think about it. Why is Christianity so against life? Period. Mother Teresa, I used to admire her greatly. I read her works, I read her words herself in the letters called Come Be My Light. I enjoyed so much. It was such an inspiration. But when I read her words, I saw that she was actually felt like she was physically in love with the idea of Jesus. She was brainwashed so strongly that her letters were passionate letters towards Jesus as a boyfriend. And she was constantly living up to this. And her main goal is to save souls. Just like any Christian should tell you, their main goal is to save souls. They don't care about life. Why would you care about life? Your care is to bring souls to Jesus. Like you're winning points or something. How fucking crazy is that? And, Mother Teresa was known for collecting so much money with her charities, Mercies, I don't know what it was, her little charity she had, her group. It doesn't matter. Earned millions and millions of dollars still to this day for, missions of charity, I forget. But anyway, it's so ridiculous that with all this money that was accumulated by her efforts, went straight to the Roman Catholic Church. Go to Calcutta today, look it up. It's still one of the most poorest places on earth. And none of the money that she accumulated was meant for care and better knowledge to help the people there, or cleaning up. It's disgusting if you think about it. It's basically banking on the suffering of others. taking a photo op to show how suffering children and the elderly are and the sick are, so that you can raise more money for yourself. It's disgusting. You know, I see it all the time. Most recently was Ricky Gervais and others with this whole hunting incident with Cecil. Cecil the lion was named after Cecil Rhodes. Cecil Rhodes was one of the most brutal white supremacists in existence in history. You know, and yet people are angry about a lion being killed and they don't care about the food on their plate. You know, you're so disconnected. You know, we are so disconnected. You know, I get it every day, like, oh, you're so outspoken and you're so violent, you're so angry, you're so hateful. This isn't the sound of hatred. This is the sound of begging, of mercy for you to wake up, for you to remove your own chains. I can't remove your chains. No one else can remove your chains. You need to remove your chains. You need to be aware that you have chains around you. Or maybe I'm full of shit. Maybe I'm completely full of shit. Maybe you need to watch Earthlings and watch it completely and go, wow, that documentary was just garbage. It was all fiction-based, and I don't believe in that. That's fine. But give yourself that opportunity to see it for yourself. Take a tour of any slaughterhouse. Go to a feedlot and go, hey, this is a pretty cool place. Let me go meditate here. Why don't you do yoga in a feedlot or go do yoga in a slaughterhouse? You know, that's what blows my mind. You know, that my passion and the passion of others, liberating ourselves and assisting others to liberate themselves, it's attacked by these infiltrators, people that speak of peace and compassion and kindness. And even in the vegan world, or people that consider themselves vegan, and I use the word vegan because it's what I'm closest to be associated with. Same with atheism. I don't like to give myself a title, but it's the closest in the direction I'm going to at this moment in my life. I wish I didn't have to use a word like atheism or a word like veganism. Those are ridiculous. I mean, who's an anti-child rapist? I mean, that's a stupid word. It shouldn't exist. The burden should exist on the perpetrator, on the attacker. You know, people that eat meat shouldn't be called a carnivore, whatever. No, they're you know, you're a disconnected person who pays people to kidnap, murder, mutilate, mock, beat, or rape. You know, I've said it. I've said it to family members. You know, I've said it to friends. That's what it is. I mean, and then they tell me, they respond, wow, I never saw it that way. I never thought of it that way. That's a normal response. Well, when you put it that way, well, it makes me think, well, yeah. Why am I going to sugarcoat it? Why am I going to lie to myself, to you? There's no reason for that. I mean, unless I really enjoyed exploiting animals. And right now, currently, I see a lot of the vegan leaders or celebrities or whatever, they're promoting self-mutilation. I find it very difficult for anyone who claims to be an atheist or who claims themselves to be a vegan to willingly mutilate their bodies. Even tattooing is a mutilation, man. You know, willingly mutilating your body. Will you willingly mutilate a cat, a kitten, a puppy, a pig, whatever? Would you mark on them with a needle to brand them, to put a number on them, like the Holocaust survivors and so forth? No, you wouldn't. That's fucking crazy. Same with people who are willing to take a knife to their own body, you know, to insert breast implants, to put collagen in their lips, you know, to dye their hair, whatever it is, the simplest things, put makeup on them, to disguise something that they're so not happy, they feel so inadequate with. People that sell skin, lotions, potions, pills, shakes, promises of better health, you know, it disturbs me that people are banking on the suffering of others. I mean, that's crazy, man. I mean, that's nuts. Even the vegan abolitionists and people that want to claim that they care about the animals, a lot of them rely on this, you know, that's, I don't want to say it's the bread and butter, but that's their motivation for life. And once that motivation goes away, it's a fear. Like, I don't want to lose that. That's my reason to live. Dude, lose it. You know, I don't want to make money off this. I'm not making money off this. I mean, I'm making more enemies than I'm making friends. No, that's not true. I do get messages and I get a lot of thanks and great gratitude from people, but nowhere can I say that I'm the reason, I'm responsible for making so many vegans. I think that's wrong. You know, I think the person who chooses to become an atheist, the person who chooses to be a vegan, this is something they choose on their own. I'm just here as a witness, as somebody who just, you know, happens to be on their path and enjoy and be grateful for just connecting for a moment. So as I end this video, I just want you to take a moment just to remove yourself from the attachment of feeling that you're the reason that things happen. If anything, you're the observer, and you're making the choices within yourself. And maybe the choices within yourself are going to encourage other people, you know? Or maybe it's not. It doesn't matter. Be your own master. Thank you. Bye.